welcome back to our channel. Today we are so excited to sit down and talk a little bit about our recent trip that we took to Belize. We have some footage that we're going to share with you guys. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to say that we're going to be talking about the different things that we did, and then we're also going to be sharing the footage of the different things that we did. And so if you're interested in some things more than others, we're going to put an index down in the description below where you should be able to just click and it'll take you right to the thing that you want to hear about. So feel free to do that.
We hope this helps you if you ever want to plan a trip to Belize. We feel like we ended up doing it really well. We were really lucky. So yeah, hopefully you can find some helpful tidbits in here. So yeah, we decided to go to Belize and we picked it for a couple of reasons. One of the biggest ones is that it's open, obviously, and I think they have some pretty good common sense practices in place right now for travel to help reduce risk. So we thought that was pretty cool. And then it also met, what we were looking for is a place that was tropical. So kind of that jungle and then also the beaches.
I've just always dreamed of going somewhere with the super clear, turquoise, calm water.
And I just remember flying in, you can look down and you see all these little islands everywhere. And it was amazing. Yeah, the other big thing obviously is, if you don't know this, Belize is an English-speaking country, and we obviously love good food. And they have amazing food and it's not expensive. That was why we picked Belize, and we absolutely loved it. Getting there was pretty simple. I mean, the flights weren't that expensive, and then getting around, we decided to use a rental car. So we saw some other vlogs that made a rental car seem pretty appealing. We also like the idea of having the independence to go explore and do what we want. So it's not inexpensive to do the rental car, but you will save a lot of money on trips, and you can do things on your own. Instead of paying $100 US per person to go visit a ruin site, you can go yourself. You spend the time you want, and it's $15 total for the both of you or something like that. Definitely something you want to weigh and consider is whether or not to, you feel comfortable driving in a foreign country. Obviously it's different than the US, but we didn't really have any problems. The roads seemed just fine to us. So our trip was really broken into 3 different sections. The first one, we wanted to experience the jungle, so we spent a week inland, kind of in the San Ignacio area, and we absolutely loved it. It was definitely not enough time. The second one was Key Cocker, so we stayed on a key, so an island with beaches and other fun things to do. And then the third one was sort of a resort sort of phase, so that's when we went to San Pedro and we just stayed on the resort and kind of just relaxed. This first section is what we're going to go through in this video right now. So we're going to talk about the first part of the San Ignacio phase.
You keep pulling up my sleeve.
That's fun.
So the first hotel that we stayed at in the inland San Ignacio area was called Black Rock Lodge, and I found it online. It was relatively inexpensive compared to a lot of the other places, and it was right smack dab in the middle of the deep jungle. It's right on this river. It's incredible, but even just looking at the pictures online, we really had no idea what to really expect.
None.
And so when we got there and we actually got to see it for ourselves, we were just completely blown away. And I feel like no matter how much I talk about it, I'm not going to be able to do it any kind of justice. Even the footage that we have, I feel like doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
But I am going to play that footage right now.
Here is our first little room in wonderful Belize. Open windows, the sounds of the jungle. We are deep in the rainforest right now. And we also have this lovely little swan buddy. Wonderful little suite just for me and you. Out to the left, out that way, there's a jungle river and a ravine, and there's our deck is right up to it. This is crazy, and we're really excited to be here. I'm excited to tell you all about it, show you what there is to do in Belize.
All right, good morning. We just woke up in the wonderful jungle to the sound of birds. We got a great night of sleep, but to see what it's like outside in the light for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is our private deck. This is crazy. Hard to see right now, but there's this jungle ravine, the river down there. I'm so swimming down there later. Oh my gosh, look at that big rock wall.
So we just got back from breakfast and we found these hammocks.
I hesitate to call it breakfast. It was
a feast.
It was an experience.
It was an experience.
We have this incredible overlook of this jungle.
I don't know if we showed this yet, but this is the walk up to our private cabin over here. And this is it.
So we're going to go right into some of the activities that we did while we were in the Black Rock Lodge area. So we were only there for 3 days, or I guess 3 nights really, which, like we said, was not nearly enough time. I feel like we could have done the entire trip at Black Rock, and it would have been great. But one of the first activities that we did is called the Botanical Garden. So not far away, it's maybe like about an hour drive or so, just because the road into Black Rock is super rugged, and it takes about 45 minutes from like the main highway turnoff to get to Black Rock. About an hour away, which is relatively close, there's this botanical garden that's set up. And obviously, if you know Elizabeth and I, we love plants, we love jungle stuff. We decided we'd go check out the botanical garden. This is a great example of an activity that would have cost us quite a bit of money if we had done it through like the hotel's guide service. By driving ourselves, it was only like $15 plus whatever gas we used to get there. We were able to kind of take our time. They have a self-guided tour you can do, which was just fine for us. It is a great spot if you like taking pictures in the jungle, if you like just being in a jungle ambiance. That would be definitely something I would recommend doing if you end up going out to Black Rock. Swing. As you can probably hear, the rain is just dumping, but we're pretty well protected by these vines above us, at least for now. The swing is amazing, so relaxing. This is a lifelong memory.
So the same day, right after we did the botanical garden, we actually went out to Xunantunich, which is one of the Mayan archaeological sites out there. And it was quite an experience to get there. You actually have to go on this, you drive onto this ferry, and then all the passengers have to get out of the car, and the driver stays in the car, and it's this hand crank ferry that crosses this river. It's a free ferry, and then when you actually get to Xunantunich, you have to pay the entrance fee, which was not very expensive. We didn't have too much time there, but it was a really cool spot to visit. I definitely recommend it. It's right there in town, and yeah, we got to see the incredible pyramids there. We got to see some howler monkeys.
We have climbed to the top of the first archaeological site that we visited, Xunantunich. Xunantunich. I'm going to botch it, I'm sure. We don't have a whole lot of time, so I think we're going to get back to the car because we have to take a little crank ferry across the bridge.
We did see a monkey today.
We saw a howler monkey, 2 howler monkeys, and it is a crazy sound if you've never heard one.
So when we were planning our trip, one of the things that we definitely wanted to do was go river tubing. And we were going to pay for like a guided tour. You can do that. I think there are a lot of different places that do it. But because we stayed at Black Rock right on the river, they offer free tubing. So we took them up on that and we went tubing down the river. Wow, it's really windy.
Did you hear that wind?
Should we shut the window? Yeah, so we did end up going tubing through Black Rock, which is complimentary because it is on the river there. And it was definitely quite an experience. I would say if you're gonna do it, make sure that the water level is very high, because when we went, it was not quite high enough.
Probably medium.
It definitely was a very rocky experience. If you go when it's low, you're gonna hit some rocks. You are probably gonna flip over. So it's best just to make sure that the water level is high when you do it, I would say. But it was really fun. It was incredible. Just me and him just floating down the river, nobody else around, just jungle sounds and birds and little fish trying to bite us.
Downriver, so that's upriver. If you're upriver, you can go, you can do the tubing. If you're downriver, there's a swimming hole kind of at a nice big bend in the river. It's just gorgeous. It's like a little mini Yosemite almost in some ways, except it's tropical and you got palm trees and jungle and monkeys and toucans and parrots and stuff.
So they said that if you make it over the falls, you get a free rum punch. So I'm going for it.
So definitely one of our favorite things about staying at Black Rock was just being so deep in the jungle. There are so many incredible tropical birds all around. The restaurant that they have there just overlooks the river, and they have this little fruit area that they put out fresh fruit for the birds. The iguanas, the squirrels, like all kinds of little critters come up there, but mostly beautiful tropical birds. And it was just incredible to get to watch them at every single meal. And all of the guides there, all of the staff were just so incredibly knowledgeable about the different birds in the area. And then another thing that we saw, I think it's called Naguti. It's a rodent, and at first I thought it was this little puppy running through the jungle, and then I thought maybe that's a pig, and I asked one of the guides, and he said it's probably an agouti, and I looked it up, and that's exactly what it was. It's a cute little rodent, kind of has like a mousy face and like a pig butt.
With the wildlife, just a note, like they have a lot of hiking trails there too that you can take, and so we ended up going hiking on our last day. And we got to see a toucan early in the morning. There were 2 toucans that ended up kind of following us a little bit, and they were curious. And I remember the guides telling us about like what sounds the toucan make. And I heard it and looked up, and boom, there he was. Got some fun footage and pictures and stuff. We were really excited about that. The last part that we want to talk about for Black Rock is the dining. I really wish there was a way that I could express how good it was, but like I'm going to fail, obviously. But you have this kind of, this jungle style pavilion essentially, or whatever you want to call it. It's a big A-frame, and then at the end of the A-frame is like a little bar where you can sit and eat, and you have the view of the birds and the cliffs and the river and everything. And the food is just out of this world. Like I was kind of thinking we're going to really want to be frugal and like get groceries and bring them and eat sandwiches in the hotel. You would be absolutely crazy for doing that if you went to Black Rock, because one, it's not that expensive for the food, especially for the quality you're getting. I mean, this was up there for some of the better food and service and ambiance and everything. When we first got there on the first night, it was like this candlelit dinner with a gourmet meal with dessert and drinks.
Yeah, it was a candlelit dinner every single night.
Yeah.
We had the
extremely romantic.
Yeah, it was just incredible. We had the same waitress every single day. We got to talk with her, and everybody there was just amazing. Like I feel like I can't harp on it enough how just the staff and the guides, everybody there was incredible.
Yeah.
I also want to say that if you're a vegetarian or vegan, they will prepare vegetarian, vegan meals for you, and it was all so good.
So can't speak highly enough of it. I know we've kind of talked quite a bit, more than I expected. I think it's kind of reflecting how much we loved it.
I also just want to put this out there that this is not an ad in any way for Black Rock.
Yeah,
I wish
unless
it was.
you want it to be Black Rock if you're watching this.
Yeah, it not in any way affiliated or anything like that. We just really loved it, and I feel like if you were to go to Belize and not stay at Black Rock,
you'd be missing out big time.
Yeah, be a bad idea.
So yeah, keep an eye out for part 2. We had a ton of fun making this video. This video just covers the first half of the first week. And we wanted to make a video dedicated just to this place just because it was so special, and we had a ton of fun. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, we'd love to have you see more of our videos on our channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Helps us out with growing the channel and having more fun doing this. And yeah, that's all for now. See you next time.